Hello and welcome back to Casburgers. I am in a hut by the river in Thailand, and today I will be discussing my opinions on Andrew Tate. I've never really said anything about him, but I decided to make a video about him because I want attention, because we live in an attention-based economy, and I want people to see Andrew Tate, this guy. I've never seen him say things before. I wonder what he has to say. And then click on it, and then hopefully follow me, and then subscribe, and then monetize it, and then build a following. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing shit for attention. That's literally why everyone's doing everything on YouTube. But I'm just going to start out by saying I saw this thing on Instagram that was a artist's rendition of a Bugatti semi-truck. And I commented Andrew Freight. And that went underappreciated, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. So I found Andrew Tate through Your Mom's House with Tom Segura. And, he started talking, and he's like, yeah, well, I'm awesome because I'm this 6'3", like, fighter, tough guy with money, and I'm charismatic, and that makes me awesome. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, I mean, same. That that would be weird if I didn't agree with that. But he has a lot of. Some people love him. Some people hate him. I could see both sides. I think his main message is the same reason why people love him and people hate him. He's basically saying, build yourself up as a man enough to where you can have multiple girlfriends. And I think some people perceive that in a way where they think every man should just be able to cheat and have multiple girlfriends. No. He's saying that only if you're rich, you can do that. He's not just saying everyone should do that. And, I mean, if you work your fucking ass off your whole life to make a bunch of money, only to have some girlfriend nagging at you, then you're not really successful. It's his whole message is there's a hierarchy involved. Like, the man is here and the woman is here, and I mean, that's not really a gender issue. That's just there should be a hierarchy in a gay relationship too. I mean, all relationships, everything needs hierarchies. Hierarchies are inherent to existence. There's a top guy in the Lobster Kingdom, according to Jordan Peterson, and I don't know. Some people say alpha males don't exist in nature. I'm pretty sure that's wrong, because I mean the Pareto distribution is like the 20-80 rule. 20% of cause is responsible for 80% of effect, or vice versa, and it relates to this thing called the ZIPF method, ZIPF. There's this like 30-minute long video on YouTube by this dude Vsauce that's super interesting. It basically says that the word, it's talking about like words in the dictionary and books and literature. The word "the" is the number one most used word across all literature and the internet, Bible, whatever, everything, all written English text. And then the second most used word is, and that is used 1/2 the amount of times as the, which is the first. And then the third word is used 1/3 the amount of times as the. And it goes down, like, it just keeps going down. And has like this parabolic slope. And, wait, I guess that's not a parabola. I think a parabola has to go up at the end. But it's a when you graph a exponents, and you guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But this applies to all words in all literature in all languages. So you pick a language. There's one word that's the number one most used. The second most used word is used half as much as the first, so on and so forth. And this same pattern can be found in everything across the universe, from music, not only the notes that are used, but also the musicians that become successful. There's, a number one musician at the time, and then the second, whatever. But yeah, basically hierarchies are inherent not only to humanity but to existence as a whole and space. And basically, if you're running a business, there's one CEO. There's not. I mean, when you have a business when there's partners and there's multiple founders of a business, there's more likely to be problems. Like with my company, I don't argue with anyone because I'm the boss, and my my brother's my employee, and we don't argue about shit because it's like, okay, you got to do this, and then he's like, yeah, cool, and then I pay him, and then he does his job, and so it's kind of like that with women. You just pay them. No. Well, you pay for them. That's kind of it's a good trade-off. It's a great trade-off for both parties. I don't have any problem with that. But oh yeah, also I'm talking about Andrew Tate pre-arrest. So I'll get to the arrest in a second, and then how that shifted what I think. So yeah, I looked at more of his stuff, and I was like, okay, wow, he's really saying this. He's saying things that I think and I intentionally do not say out loud because I don't want to piss people off. So I'm not gonna say what those are because I don't want to piss people off. But who knows if one day I'm gonna be famous and they're gonna come back and look at all the fucked up shit I've said. I was born canceled. I'm already fucked. The moment I get famous, I'm getting taken down immediately. So I gotta watch my words, but not really though, because I think if you really listen to me long enough, eventually you'll be like, that makes sense. Unless you're fat and not funny, because those seem to be the people that like me the least. And Andrew Tate, the people that hate Andrew Tate the most are all like poor and fat, or there's a lot of really amazing women that hate him as well, and that's fine. I mean, women shouldn't be listening to men speak the truth anyways. Like, you kind of have to lie to women. I mean, if you're want to sustain a healthy relationship. I'm not saying you should never lie to women to get laid. That makes you a piece of shit. But if you want to foster a loving relationship over the course of years, you can't just be honest about everything. Everybody knows that. You just can't do that. You're honest 100% yourself for 3 or 4 months, and then you got to start pretending like other women don't exist, and you're like, oh, I'm actually gay now. I don't know. But yeah, so then also the whole cam girl thing was mind-blowing to me. I was like, I can't even maintain a conversation with one woman for more than 5 minutes. How is he having multiple women that he sees every day all the time? That sounds incredibly stressful. I thought the same thing when I saw Dan Bilzerian for the first time. He was on a yacht with 20 hot models, and my first thought was just what the fuck do they even talk about? Hot girls are awesome, but if it's just only hot girls, I don't know, man. There's probably a lot of hot and smart women out there, but I haven't met too many. Dude, I'm going too far here, huh? No, I'm not. Fuck you. I don't care. I don't care about anything anymore. What are you gonna do? Fire me? Cancel me? I'm already canceled. I can't be fired. But okay, so then he got arrested. And then he got arrested again. Also, yeah, so his whole thing about how you should have multiple women and stuff, I disagree with that because just it gets you into trouble, man. There's a reason why I enjoy drugs. They don't cause me problems. They don't like I've had a lot of women tell me to stop doing drugs. I've never had drugs tell me to stop doing women. You know what I mean? It's it's an easier problem to manage. Which that's another thing. Andrew Tate has never done drugs. I disagree with that, man. Like you gotta do mushrooms. He talks about being like so superior and having vast knowledge and wisdom, but he hasn't even seen the fractal holographic matrix we exist in. And I probably too late now. But yeah, so then he got arrested. And anyways, my view on how you should treat women, I think you should be celibate. Don't date them. Don't try not to talk to them. And also, I think he said something about how like men and women can't be friends or shouldn't be friends. I don't agree with that. I have a lot of super awesome female friends, and honestly, I like them more than any girl I've ever hooked up with or dated. They're having female friends is awesome. And then you got a bunch of women that'll be like, "Oh yeah, Eli's great," and then they vouch for me, and that's cool too. But so we got arrested for human trafficking and rape. Those were the charges, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, so he was wrong." I don't care if he's guilty. I don't care if he's innocent. If you're in prison, I'm not gonna follow your advice. You know, like you clearly did something wrong. In his case, it was speaking out and speaking the truth, which not a good idea. Apparently, don't do that. I guess I don't want to. If and if you think that's cowardly to not speak the truth so you don't go to prison, then I guess I'm a coward for not being a murderer too. Like, because I have a lot of controversial opinions as well, you know, and I don't want to go to prison for them. But yeah, if you go to prison, you're automatically you fucked up. Is he guilty? So okay, so here's the thing. They said he was targeting women and luring them into a relationship, and then having them do cam girl stuff, and then threatening them with violence and raping them and coercing them. So he's admitted everything except for the last part. So he openly talks about how he finds girls fall in love with him and then do cam girl stuff for him. But do I think that he like held them hostage and beat them and threatened to beat them to keep them around? Absolutely not. I just don't. I don't think that happened. But the problem is that comparatively and like looking at all of his videos, that's like a pretty small detail. So I mean, it looks like the court has enough evidence to keep him locked up forever. And if he's a billionaire and can't bail himself out of a Romanian jail, then I think that the U.S. is probably pulling the strings, in which case, you know, yeah, he's probably never going to see the light of day again, which is unfortunate. Unless he did those things, then he should definitely be in prison. But I don't think he did, because the evidence that was presented to us internet people was that he had a WhatsApp voice memo saying, "I loved raping you." How convenient. How convenient that he just admitted to a crime that they had no other evidence for with a distorted voice, and it was posted by Vice News or Vice Media or whatever, which had already been caught like Photoshop or editing some other stuff to make him look bad. So it doesn't look like that's legit at all. And also they did the Vice guy went to their house to like do a piece on them, and then him and his brother were like, all right, let's fuck with this guy because we know he's like about to talk a bunch of shit on us. But I think it'd be kind of funny if he actually went there to like be like, oh, these guys are actually awesome, but then they were just dicks to him, and he's like, oh, actually, fuck these guys. Probably didn't happen like that, but that would be funny. This is too long of a pause, so I'm just gonna say words so you don't have to listen to silence. You know when you listen to a podcast and then they pause too long, and then you're like, did my phone just stop? And then you gotta check it to make sure it's still working. And yeah, it's still here. So yeah, pretty sure he's gonna get killed. He's too big of a threat to. He calls it the Matrix. I don't really like that term because I call existence the Matrix. I call like the light energy fractal holographic universe we exist in the Matrix. That's more of like a societal thing. There's so much to cover here because he talks about so many topics, and they're all pretty interesting. But so he says like you his whole thing is about escaping the Matrix too, right? And so I guess this really proved that you can't escape the Matrix. So there's really no point in fighting it, which is rather hopeless. But I think the only way, and I felt this way before I found out who he was, but I've always said you can't escape the Matrix, you can only become it. Which is essentially what happens when you die. You're not exiting the Matrix, you're becoming it. You go from a being trapped in this physical realm to releasing your energy and joining back in the energy in the universe. So I mean, that's why I started this cricket protein company, because I think that's where the government's headed. I don't approve of a lot of things that the government promotes, but I did extensive research into the health benefits of insects, and yeah, World Economic Forum is behind it too. People use that as like oh, fuck you, you support the World Economic Forum, and I'm like, World Economic Forum, those are all super rich people. If you wanna lump me in with billionaires, fucking be my guest. It's anyone who knows me knows that I have a good heart, and my most important thing in life is connection and love and friends, and I want to help people. I want to help everyone around me. I want to build up everyone around me, and I can't do that unless I have a lot of money. So I need to make a lot of money from this business. So a lot of people have a problem with the fact they're like, don't eat the bugs, and it's like, all right, man, but like you're eating like milk and steak, and which is delicious and awesome, but it's like that's being promoted by the government as well, and like factory farming is like a satanic mass murder ritual if you want to go the conspiracy route. And also they did a bunch of fake info on the nutrition facts of milk. Honestly, the anti-drug thing, he's never done drugs. He advises everyone to not do drugs. That offends me because he's like, I don't need drugs. My brain's perfect. And that, I envy that for sure. The money, the girls, cool. Like, I'm happy for you. I don't envy that. But the fact that he's just like, oh, I'm going to be happy and motivated, or he didn't talk about being happy, but he's like, I'm going to be motivated and like, I don't need any drug to help my mind. Like, damn, I wish I had that. That's pretty fucking cool. I think I wrote something down. I want to talk about all the things I disagree with too. So I don't want to just sit here and agree with them. Although I'm not really doing that. His editing sucks. I don't think that's not really on him. Whoever's uploading his videos, he doesn't even see his videos before they're uploaded. I guarantee you. He's just like, he just does shit and he's like, yeah, sure, just post it. Because you could just tell that he's not part of the creative process of the editing. I think you should work on the editing. Or don't work on it. You're in prison, man. Sorry, dude. Unless you raped those people, then not sorry. But don't think you did. Oh yeah, he encourages everyone to leave their shitty jobs and calls people wages for working for a wage, and basically insults the entire working class, and it tells everyone to be their own boss and be a awesome CEO or whatever. That's bad advice. That's not going to work. You can't have a world full of CEOs. I mean, he may not be... It sounds like he's saying that everyone should do that. Everyone should say fuck you to your boss and then just start their own company. I'm going to tell you, as a business owner, it is so much fucking work. I was trying to see how long I could go without bringing up the Anunnaki. We're at 21 minutes right now. I'm gonna go to the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki, aliens that genetically modified humans into a slave race because they didn't want to work. According to the Sumerian tablets, the oldest written document on Earth, that every major story has been copied and repeated in Christianity, Islam, Judaism. Oh yeah, Andrew Tate converted to Islam. Okay, this is interesting. So he went from atheist to believing in God because his life was so awesome, and he was just like, okay, God has to exist. I went through a similar thing, but it was DMT influenced. But I couldn't help but think, as he was sitting in the jail cell for rape and sex trafficking, man, if he had just converted to Judaism instead of Islam, maybe he'd be a free man still. You look at Epstein, Ghislaine, Sam Bankman-Fried, all these people that happen to be Jewish that are also engaged in some sex trafficking. Yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried. I'm pretty sure FTX is laundering for... Dude, I'm going to get assassinated. The thing is, too, if I get assassinated, it's like... I can't say I would never kill myself. I probably will. I'm not suicidal. I'm just a control freak. I want to be in charge of my destiny. I decide every other aspect of my life. Why would I just let that most important one be like up to chance? But yeah, so Sumerian tablets, Anunnaki created human as a slave race. And then it just kind of trickled down. So basically, life is a lot of fucking hard work. Any person's life. It is so much effort to stay alive and just maintain yourself and your life and stuff. Once you reach a point of success, you can hire other people to lighten your workload. So either way, the work needs to be done whether you do it or not. If you are working to build someone else's dream as opposed to starting your own business, you're in a better position because you have a stable source of income. You don't really have to use your brain. It's not all on you. It's low stress. It's people who come to me and they're like, "Oh, I want to start my own business. Like, what do you recommend?" I'm like, "Don't do it. Don't start a business. I'm insane. There's something wrong with me. I like to torture myself." I don't think most people are like that. I think going off on a limb and just saying, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just start my own thing," and just it's crazy. It's a little crazy. So yeah, if you're watching this, just get a job. The world doesn't need more CEOs. You think the CEO of I don't know, I'm gonna say Ralph's. That's a grocery store. All right. You think that the CEO of Ralph's never helped me bag my groceries? You know what I mean? The bag boy does that. So we need more low-level minimum wage workers, because existence is a pyramid scheme. Everything is pyramidal. You have the CEO and then the COO, CFO, and then it just goes down. Like, so you need these hierarchies and you need people working below you. And I mean, some people say that being an employee is essentially being a slave. I don't think that is a good word to use just because it carries a lot of weight. But I'm trying to think of another word here, man. we need people below us to serve us so we can have easier lives. If you don't agree with that, then do all the work yourself and see how much time you have to sleep. I mean, like, if you're I'm trying to think of a counter argument to my own comment so that I can not be left wide open for a immediate potential. Not like fucking like 20 people are gonna watch this, but I just like to have well prepared arguments, and I don't. The thought that went through my mind is like a guy that I don't know, I guess hunts his own meat, fixes all the stuff around the house. There's a lot of people like that. But that's a lot of work. It's exhausting. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a guy that has to prepare his own everything and fix everything around the house. I want to make enough money to pay other people to do that stuff so I have time to pursue my passions. But there's a lot of people that don't even have passions, so they or their passion is doing that stuff. So anyway, this was just a long-winded way of saying don't be successful. Don't be self-employed. Don't consider that you need to have. I don't know, man. Just get a fucking job. I might get a job soon. Running a business is hard. It's fun. It's fulfilling, but it's I don't think most people could do it. And that's not to say that I'm better than anyone for doing it. In fact, I think I'm worse off because I think I would probably, at this point, in this early on in my business, I would be helping more people if I was like a plumber or something. He says something about self-hypnosis and how that every word he speaks is basically him speaking stuff into existence. This is something I've done since I was pretty young. And a lot of people have a problem with this because it makes you sound arrogant and cocky to be like, I'm the man, I'm the best. It makes people very uncomfortable and people don't like to hear it. But the reason why I used to do that, I don't really do it as much anymore because I don't drink anymore and I don't feel like I'm the man anymore. I actually don't really like existing that much most of the time. But back then when I was saying I'm awesome all the time, it wasn't me trying to tell other people that I'm awesome and they should also agree with me, because that doesn't work like that. It was me just trying to tell myself that I'm awesome. Like, I don't know, there's been times where I'm like on a date or something and I'm just like, I get real excited that I have a car that drives itself, and they're like, chill out, like you're not that cool for having a Tesla or whatever. I'm like, no, you don't get it. I'm just being grateful. I'm being grateful right now. I'm finding reasons to be happy. I'm not trying to brag. Oh yeah, he also hates Teslas. Let me tell you why Andrew Tate is wrong about Teslas. Because my Tesla drives itself. Andrew Tate's all about working all the time and working hard, right? So the whole time that car is driving itself, I'm working. I'm getting 3 times more work done than you because my car drives itself. Is the government going to be able to shut it off one day and spy on me? Yeah, but I'm You think having a diesel truck is going to stop the government from going into your phone? Like, they have access to everything. There's really no point in fighting it. You really just got to go along with it. Unless you were to build a multinational corporation of a sustainable food source that could enter every corner of the global markets, then I'd say you probably want to be friends with that guy because he might actually be able to change the system from the inside. But what do I know? I'm just a guy. I'm just a fucking vessel of fucking limbs and I don't know, dude. We're all the same. All humans. We're all one. Even ants and crickets. We're all just. If you really look closely, there's not a single person on Earth that could rise to any level of fame without being shit on by half the population. No matter who you are, everyone hates you and you're retarded. Sorry. Everyone's stupid. Everyone. Every single human that has ever lived. And so is every animal. People are like, oh yeah, you make mistakes because you're human. I think you make mistakes because you're alive. I think just being alive is just fucking up. I saw this video. Did you see that video that crawfish that like scuttled along and jumped in a pot of thought it was water, but it was hot oil, and then he just fried himself alive. And I saw that and I was like, yeah, we've all been there, brother. Anyways, 30 minutes, that's enough. Yeah, I hope that thousands of random people watch this, and if not, then that's kind of weird that I just talked about another dude this long. I don't really like worshiping celebrities or people I don't know because I want to save my praise for the people I personally know. But I'm sure if I met him, we'd probably be friends. Seems like he's got a similar sense of humor, or like, I don't know, when he was like, well, I'm fucking tall and beautiful, and I'm a fighter, and I'm charismatic, and like women love me, I'm awesome. I was like, yeah, dude, fucking tight. All right. I'm gonna go get some of my Thai bot, and I'm gonna go walk down the street, and I'm going to eat everything, and I'm gonna spend probably like $30 on like 7 meals. Bye, everyone.